What's up, everybody? Ty Bartellum with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time we head to our friends over in Ursuline, Fighting Irish Country, with Kristina Dugan, their head softball coach, joining me today. Coach, how are we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad, and I'm always excited for what Ursuline softball has cooking up, especially this time of the year. You got some great weather, and I'm sure you guys are excited to be able to get outside a little bit. What are you seeing right now in practice season and from your team?
So we actually, before the weather broke, we had our first indoor scrimmage last week, and we really learned a lot. Basically, where we need to grow and what we need to get better at. Played some pretty good teams from not right around this area, and so we're just looking forward to improving this week. And we have Austin Town coming up we're going there to scrimmage them on Thursday.
So when we talk about this year's team, who are some players that are going to be headlining it names wise, and who are some newer players perhaps to watch out for?
So we have two seniors, Katie Culianos. She's played third base for us in the past. She's done some pretty big things for us, and previously all district honorable mention. So we're looking forward. She's been working really hard this off season and to get stronger and better. So we're looking forward to her senior year. Mackenzie Smith, she's truly a leader, but like she's a leader by example. She's caught for us in the previous years, and so we're looking forward to her stepping up into that role. We have some juniors and sophomores who have some experience, and just a couple of them, like Brooke Opalik is a junior, Kayla Starry, Brooke Burton, the Ariana Chavone, Lauren O'Leary. We're really looking forward to some of them stepping up into their roles. Maybe that they weren't quite elevated last year, but they've had the experience, so we just want them to step up into them. And then we have some newbies coming in, some freshmen coming in this year, Eva Camuso and Emma Davies, and we're looking forward to what they bring to the table.
When we talk about this year's team, I know it's still early. I know we have a couple weeks, I think 11 days until officially opening day for softball season. But what would you describe this year's team identity as being for Ursuline softball?
So we've been really trying to focus on a couple key components: is communication and just being aggressive and taking advantage of the little things, the small things. So we've been trying to work on that mostly at practice.
So when you talk about this year's schedule, I know you guys a smaller conference schedule, so you guys have a lot of openings then for the non-conference, and you guys always have a tough one that you guys schedule. What does it look like this year? What are some matchups you're excited to test your team with this season?
Yeah, so it is going to be a tough schedule, but I think that helps prepare us for a tournament. We have Austin Town and Canfield on our schedule. We have Walsh and Matthews and Hoban, and so we're just all kind of spread out throughout the year. So we're looking forward to competing.
What would you say some of the goals are early on this season for this softball program? Obviously, we know winning being the first primary goal is always one of the goals for every time you step on the field. But what are some improvements that you primarily want to see from now until end of season?
To have quality at bats, going after the right type of pitches and the correct pitch selection, and kind of minimizing our errors or control what we can control. Like there are certain things that they happen, move on, move forward from it. But what can we control and how can we get better from those things?
Do you find yourself having to kind of get your hands into the coaching side of things a little bit more when you have a younger kind of team like this that has a little bit fewer senior leaders than maybe previous years?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. So definitely, they're willing to work. I think they want to. They want to get better. But with everybody a little bit younger, we're trying to mesh them all together. And like I said, have them step up into roles. So, yeah, we are. I think they're working hard and trying to do that.
So when we talk about this team too, and just some of the older and younger defined players that you have there, what are some of the things that when you see younger players too, what are the things that oftentimes that you need to get them up to speed on at the varsity level to be able to play that like you said, quality at bats and have quality varsity games and experience?
Yeah, aside from some of the stuff that we try to focus on here more at like Ursuline and being like that team player, which is just they're actually I think that they teach the older kids um, whether they think they are or not. Like they're bringing something to the table, and I think that they're all kind of learning from each other. But most of it is just bringing them into the team and kind of creating that family atmosphere.
So when you talk about like integrating new players into the team and trying to get them aligned with the established culture and performance standards, like how do you bring those girls in too to get them to play Ursuline softball too and have that team first mentality?
We try to focus on the mental game a little bit as well. And I think that sometimes it gets overlooked. So that, trying to incorporate that, trying to bring each other, like, we do like positive messages to each other and things like that, where it seems a little cheesy, but I think that it helps like build that team chemistry.
I love the sport of softball because I feel like it once you play it or once you're a part of it, you're a part of it for life too. So when did the softball love story begin for you, and what's got you kept you in the program or in softball for all these years?
Yeah, so, probably since I was 5, but, why I've stuck to it, like, it's just that draw, that competition, that wanting to be better, wanting what's best for the girls. After taking some time off, uh, like, with family and kids and stuff like that, it just, you just wanna come back and compete and wanna show your love for the game to the girls, so.
Is there more similarities in softball from maybe 10, 15 years ago to now, or more differences that you've seen?
I think it always changes, you know? There's definitely things that you're right that stay the same. You just have to adapt to the girls and the society that they're growing up in now because we didn't grow up that way. So,
Yeah. What do you think one of the biggest adaptations that you guys had to make on the field that you've noticed from a coaching seat?
okay, so this isn't a change, but well, I guess it is a little bit. I do think focusing on the mental aspect of the game, um, I think that while it was important, and while I did do that, throughout my college career, it was something that I learned later on. I didn't learn it, when I was their age. So I think that that's probably one of the biggest things.
And you talk about that mental side of the game, it feels like that has such a huge draw and huge effect, profound effect on players too, that they could have all the talent in the world, but if the head's not right in a given situation too, it could be a bad day. What are some of the things you guys are doing at, I guess, at the coaching staff level too to I guess correct those mentals? Because I can assume with younger players too, that's probably one of the bigger challenges too, is that sometimes they could get a little bit down on themselves.
Yeah, while they are confident at times, I do think that they are hard on themselves, and they work. I mean, they've been working and going at it nonstop for quite a while. Most of them play travel ball through, and it just feels like a lot. So kind of bringing the fun back into it, making sure that this is, that they love it. But I'm sorry, repeat your last question though, because I did have I did have something to add to that.
No, just talking about just this team and just being able to get these girls up to speed with everything and not being able to get down on themselves too. You talk about the mental battle too. I would assume with the younger girls too, sometimes they get down on themselves a little bit more than the older players.
So we do have them self-reflect, and not just look at the negatives. Like after each game, scrimmage, sometimes even practice, we'll talk about a negative, like things that we need to improve on. But also, like I always try to make sure that we're including positives and including like with their self-reflections along with the team.
There's still a lot of room for improvement. I know you talked about, but there's also a lot of excitement with this because there's a lot of newer faces, fresher faces, and chances for girls to step up. How excited are you to give these girls opportunities too, and kind of see what some of these newer faces are going to look like on the field this year?
Yeah, that's what the scrimmages are for in those early first games. Hopefully the weather stays nice, but um I, that's basically what I want to do is give them opportunities to grow, to show what they can do and I guess prove themselves in a lot of ways too.
You guys have the opportunity to play on a gorgeous field in a gorgeous facility in Youngstown State too. How awesome is that for you and the girls to be able to have that college level field that to call home?
Yes, we're unbelievably grateful, and we are lucky. It definitely helps with those early, the rainy days, and to have a turf and a tarp field, and somebody helping out, the YSU helping out with the maintenance of it. So it's a blessing.
We've been tap dancing around the coaching staff. I want to give you the chance to kind of shout them out and give some recognition to those that are going to be helping you out too in the coaching realm this year.
Yes, thank you. So I have Coach Chelsea Rezo. She's been with me since since I started being a head coach a few years ago, and she is like my right hand man, and I couldn't do it without her. We have new this year. We have Coach Karina Cummings, and she has some boardman tennis experience and has played softball throughout her life. And we have Coach Keisha Sanders, who helped out with our basketball coach or with our basketball team, and then she's coming on board. She's played softball too. And then my team manager, she's been helping me out. She helps me stay organized. She's been Coach Pam Pasquale.
What goes into kind of surrounding yourself with your choice of coaches too? What do you look for in the coaches that you surround yourself with?
I definitely think we help balance each other, and it like our strengths are they help support one another. So it's a really good group that we mesh well with.
When we look at this season and just some of the things you want to look for from these younger players too, what are some of the I guess goals that you look for the younger players in personal development on and off the field?
They are all extremely hard workers. And like I said, I think that they're and coachable. Like they want to get better. They take what we say seriously. And I think it's more about just like stepping up into being a leader themselves. Like even though you're a freshman, you can still, or a sophomore, you can still step up into being a leader and own what you know and moving forward. I think that's probably one of the biggest things.
Coach, I mean, when we talk about this season, we're so excited for you. We're rooting for the Ursuline Irish as always. Before we let you go, I want to give you the chance. Shout out your first game. Let everybody know where they could see and why they need to be supporting this Irish softball team this year.
Thank you so much, Ty, for having us too. We play against Brookfield. It's a home opener at YSU noon on the 22nd, the first day of season. And that week, we're lucky enough to be able to travel down to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So just hopefully we still have get some
Yeah.
good weather and good games in down there.
Those are always great bonding experiences, those trips too. And I know it's going to be great for those younger players to kind of get to know the older players a little bit on a deeper level. We're excited for you. March 22nd, just 11 days away, folks, too. The Irish have a noon first pitch against Brookfield over at YSU. We're always supporting you, Coach. We're excited for what you guys got going on this year. And we'll see you out there on the diamond real soon.
Thanks, Ty.